Hello everybody, this is Jeannie T with It's All About Yarn, Knit and Crochet. Today I'm going to show you how to make this motif. It's called the Lucky Star, and you can make it in crochet thread. Now I have showed you this before, but the season's coming up pretty quickly of Christmas for the holidays. And it takes a while to make these, so I thought I would show you ahead of time to give you a chance. Now, as you can see, it looks like a poinsettia in the center, and it's a nice star shape. And if you have some crochet cotton, you can make them in red or white, green. Any color would be beautiful. I ordered this one in red from anyways, I'll remember in a second. Overseas. And it's called Yarn Art Tulip. And I ordered this in red, and it came like a salmon color. I ordered it from Ice Yarns, just a small order. But they do have some beautiful colors. Now this said red, but it didn't really show it red. I thought it was just a picture and that when I got it, it would be darker. But it didn't. It's more like a salmon. But they have like icy blues, and it's very shiny. They have icy blues, mints, pinks, purples, whites, sparkle gray. They have some beautiful colors with it, and it comes in a 6-pack. So this is one of the motifs, and if you do it in a crochet cotton, it will probably go a little bit smaller because this is like a cord. And I will be using, this is a very old hook, made in England, size F. Now I'm not sure if that's a 10 or if that's a little design, because there's little gouges at each end, because it is sort of a small hook. I like the cut of it though. Anyways, let's get started. So you will need whatever that you're going to crochet with a hook to fit, and a pair of snips for the end, and a darning needle to fit your yarn or thread. So I'm going to begin with a chain of 6. I'm going to slip stitch this together. And then I'm going to make a chain of 5, and that's going to count as the first double crochet and the first chain 2. And then I'm going to make another double crochet and chain 2. Double crochet and chain 2. And we're going to do this all the way around until we have a total of 8, counting your beginning chain. So I will meet you right back for row 1. Okay, I have 8 double crochets, and if you want to use the magic loop for your beginning so you can tighten that little loop up, you can. So I finished to the last double crochet of row 1, and I'm going to chain 2 and slip stitch it into the first chain that I made, the second one from the top, and just slip stitch that in there. And that's row 1 completed. So next I'm just going to slip stitch into the next chain 3 space or chain 2 space, just slip stitch into it and chain 3 for your first double crochet, and then double crochet 2 more in that same space. So this first chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, and then you're going to chain 2. That's going to be the little chains in between each section will be a chain 2, and then 3 double crochet into the next chain 2 space. So we'll make 3 double crochets. And we're going to do this all the way around. So there's three double crochet here in the first space, chain space, then we chain 2, and then in the next chain space we made 3 more double crochets. We're going to chain 2 again, and we're going to make 3 double crochet into the next chain space. We'll do that all the way around, and I'll meet you back in, this is row 2. Okay, I made it to the end of row 2. Now I'm going to, I did my 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to slip stitch it at the top of this chain 5 into the 3rd chain from the bottom. So just slip stitch that in, and that's the end of your chain 2. Okay, now to begin round 3, we're going to make a chain of 3. That's going to count as our first double crochet. And then, pardon me, in the same place, double crochet, in the same place as your slip stitch. So right in the same place, make a double crochet. Okay? And then we're going to double crochet in the next double crochet right at the top. So that's where I would put it. It's right at the tops of these double crochets. And then in your next double crochet right here before the chain, make 2 double crochets. Because we're going to pick up an extra double crochet in each set. So there'll be 2 in that one. And then we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next double crochet. So right at the top of that double crochet, not in the chain, but right into the top. And then we are going to double crochet in the next double crochet. Just like that. And then we're going to put 2 double crochet into the next double crochet. So in this little triangle, we have 2 double crochets in the second row. The third row, we have 5 into the little triangle. That's 2 at the beginning, 1 in the center, 2 at the end. And we're going to have a chain of 2 on each side. So chain 2, and then that will bring you over across this chain to the next set. So 2 double crochet, a single, and 2 double crochet, and repeat all the way around. This is row 3, and I will meet you at the end. And here we are at the end of row 3. So I did my 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and 2 double crochet into the little last section. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the next chain, 3 from the bottom. So just slip stitch into there. And then we are going to chain 3 for the beginning of row 3. Sorry, the beginning of row 4. We just finished row 3. So beginning of row 4, we're going to chain 3. That counts as our first double crochet. 1, 2, 3 are done. Beginning of row 4. And then in the same place that we slip stitch, we're going to put a double crochet. So that will count as our first 2 double crochets into the first stitch. And then we're going to double crochet at the top of the next double crochet. So the first 2 will be our beginner of 2 double crochet. Then we're going to do single double crochets across till we get to the last double crochet, and that's where we'll put 2 of them. So we'll put 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet at the top of each double crochet all the way across this section. Till we get to the last double crochet of this section. We'll put 2 of them. So that is how it gets bigger. It's pretty hard to see with the white background. And then you will chain 2. And then beginning in the next section, you'll have 2 double crochet into the top of the first double crochet, then 1 double crochet in the top of the next, all the way across to the last one before the chain, and that's where you'll put 2 double crochets. And then you'll chain 2. So do that all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of row 4. Okay, I've made it to the end of row 4. Now I'm going to I double crocheted 2, and I double crocheted 1 double crochet all the way across. Now I'm going to put the second one in the end. And then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first chain that I made, the second one from the top. And to begin round 5, we are going to repeat what we've been doing. We're going to make a chain of 3. We're going to make a double crochet into that very first stitch that the chain came from. That counts as our beginning 2 double crochets. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet all the way across the next 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. That's 2. That's 3. Oops. That's 4. And into the 5th one we're going to put 2. Double crochet 2. Then we're going to, let's see, we're going to chain 3 now because our motif is getting bigger at the top. And then we're going to start this all over again. We're going to put 2 in the beginning, in the first double crochet. We're going to put 2 double crochets. And we're going to double crochet all the way across. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I thought it was supposed to be 5, but where we had the chain in the very first one, the row down below, it doesn't really show. And then in the very last double crochet we will put the 2 double crochets. And then we will chain 3. So I'll show you that one more time. In the first double crochet we'll put 2, then the next 5 double crochets at the tops we'll double crochet 1, and then at the very last double crochet we'll double crochet 2 of them. So there's 2 in the first, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the last one we'll put 2 double crochets. So I noticed with this microfiber that it doesn't relax. The stitches really round out a lot, and it's not like cotton at all. It just it doesn't relax. So I'll put 2 in the last one, and then we will chain 3, and we'll repeat that in the next one. We'll start with 2 double crochets in the top of the first double crochet, and then single crochet in the tops of the next 5 double crochets, and then the last double crochet 2 in the top of that one. Go ahead and do that to the end of round 5, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, here we are at the end of row 5. So I'm going to chain 3. I've done my set. Now I'm going to chain 3 and slip stitch it into the beginning double crochet of that row. So round 5 is done. Now round 6, we're going to slip stitch. We're going to do the decrease rows now. So now we're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet. So not the first one, but the next one. We're just going to slip stitch into that, because we're going to, well, it's not a decrease round, but we're going to narrow this now into the top part of the petal. So we slip stitch into that, and then we chain 3. That will be our first double crochet, and then we'll double crochet into the next 6. There we go. And then we chain 3. And then we single crochet into the next space, into that next chain space. We'll do a single crochet, and then we chain 3, and then we're going to skip that first double crochet. We're going to skip the first one, and we're going to go into the second one and double crochet. And we'll do 7 across. That's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is where it's getting narrow, so we don't do that last one. And then we will chain 3. And then into this chain space, we're going to single crochet 1, and then we're going to chain 3 again. So when we look at that chain space, the crochet, single crochet 1 in the center and a chain of 3 on each side, and then that will bring us into our sets again. We will skip the first double crochet and double crochet in the top of the second one, and we'll do 7 in total across. So double crochet into the top of the next one, then double crochet into the top of the next, all the way across until you have 7. And then you will chain 3, single crochet 1 and chain 3 into the next space. And repeat this all the way around. And I will meet you at the end of row 6. So I have to confess, every time I put my camera on pause to finish this going around, I've been going back outdoors to sit in my chair and finish the round to get some fresh air, and then I come back in. So here we are at the end of row 6. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll skip the last double crochet. I've done my chain of 3. I'm going to single crochet it into the next chain space, and then I'm going to chain 3 again, and I'm going to slip stitch it at the top of the next chain 3 double crochet of the first stitch. So there we have it. So now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the next stitch to begin row 7, and then I'm going to chain 3, and that's going to be the first double crochet. And then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count from the back to make sure. And then 1, 2, skip the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double crochet into the next 4 double crochets. I count it to the last one that we have to skip the last. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we skip this last one, and then we chain 4. We'll chain 4, and then we will single crochet in the next space right here, and single crochet, let's see, chain 4, single crochet, next space, single crochet in the next space, and single crochet in the next single crochet space, and then single crochet in the next space. So we chain 4, single crochet in the space, single crochet in the next single crochet, and then single crochet in the next space. So that's 3 single crochets, and then chain 4, and then skip the first double crochet in the next. I hear my neighbor out there. So we'll double crochet in the next 5 altogether. It's very quiet here. So there's 5 single crochets, and we don't do the one at the end. Then we will chain 4, and here we're going to do that little set of singles again. We're going to single crochet 1 in the chain space, then we're going to single 1 into the single crochet. Can you see right there? And then we'll do another single into the chain space. So into the space, into the single, and into the space. So we have our chain of 4, single into the chain space, single into the single crochet. I just do it right in the top of it, and then single into the next space. And there's your little set of 3 single crochets. Then we're going to chain 4 again, and then we're going to do our series of 5 double crochets across. So skip the first one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then chain 4, and repeat this process all the way around. And I will meet you at the end. And if you need to go back and check your work, you can. You can pause this, you can rewind it a bit, and go ahead and finish, and I will meet you at the end of row 7. I am setting up in my yarn room. I will be back in a moment with some better lighting. Okay, here we are at the end of row 7. So I did my series of double crochets. I did another chain of 4, and then I did the 3 single crochets, 1 in the chain, 1 in the single crochet, and 1 in the next chain. Now I need to connect it to the first chain over here. So to equal this up, we will need another chain of 4, and slip stitch it into the first chain, which is a double crochet, and then slip stitch into the next top of the next double crochet. Just slip stitch there, and then that is the finishing of round 7. Now to begin row 8, we're going to make a chain of 3, which will equal the first double crochet. Am I focused? And then we're going to double crochet into the next 2 double crochets into the tops of them, just 1 in each. And then we skip the one at the end because we're narrowing this flower. And then we're going to make a chain of 3. Oh, one moment please. We're going to make a chain of 5. And we're going to single crochet into this next space, into this next chain space, and then we're going to single crochet into those 3 singles that we have. So single crochet into each one of them. And then single crochet into the next chain space, like that. And then we're going to chain 5. It's the same on each side. On each side of those singles. Let's see if you can see that. There. So these singles are getting V-ing out wider. This is where we are. And then we'll put 3 double crochets on the tops here, and there's always going to be a chain of 5 in between. So there's going to be a chain or a single crochet in the first chain, single crochet onto the next 3 single crochets from the previous row, and then end it into the next chain with another single. A chain of 5 on each end of it in between these. And we have 3 double crochets on top of the next 3 double crochets. So go ahead and do that all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of row 8. So there's only 12 rounds to this, and we are finishing up round 8, and we will be beginning 9. So I did my 3 single double crochets, I chained 5, I single crocheted into the chain. Now I'm going to put, and here's where we have to join, so I'm going to do 4 more singles going across, 3 of them into the single crochets. And then 1 into the other chain space. And there's a total of 5 singles all the way across. And then we need to chain 5 and get that connected. We're going to slip stitch it into the first chain, which is the first double crochet. Just slip stitch it in just like that. That's row 8 done. So for row 9 we're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet, which is the one in the middle, just into the top of it. Okay, then we're going to chain 3. That's going to equal as our first double crochet, and then holding back on the yarn up here, we're going to make a cluster. So we're going to make 2 more double crochets, There's one. We're going to hold this. There's two. And then we're going to pull through all three. Just like that. So we have a little cluster at the top. Okay. And then we're going to chain 6. Like that. And we're going to single crochet into this next space, and then we're going to single crochet in all 5 of these, into these 5 single crochets, and then we're going to single crochet into the next space and then chain another 6. So there's going to be a chain 6 at each end, and we're going to single crochet 1 in each space and then all 5 of these. There, so I've done the singles all the way across. Now I'm going to chain, what was it, chain 6. And then we're ready to make another one of these clusters on this side. So we'll do a double crochet clusters of 3. Hold on to this, don't put all of them through. Just pull it through the first 2 of each double crochet and then hold on to the rest. So we want 3 of them into the top of that middle double crochet, and then pull through all 3, and there's our little cluster made. Then we're going to chain 6 more, and we're going to do all those little single crochets again. So we're going to do this all the way around with those single crochets and then the 3 cluster double crochets at the tips. Okay? And chain 6 in between them. So go ahead and do that all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of row 9. So this was the end of row 9, and I finished it with the chain of 6, and then I slip stitched it at the top of the cluster. So that is row 9 finished. Okay, we only have 3 rounds to go, 10, 11, and 12. So round 10, we're going to start at the very top where we slip stitched into the top of these tribbles. So we're going to do a single crochet in the very top, like that, and then we're going to make a chain of 5, we're going to go down here, and we're going to skip 3 of the single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and that will bring us into the center one. And let's see, skip 3 single crochets, and next single crochet make a treble. So into that space we're going to make a treble. That's right in the center. And then we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do that 3 times into the same. So we're going to have 4 trebles and a chain 2 in between each of them. Now a treble is like a triple crochet. and chain 2. So you wrap it around twice, go into that single crochet, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through the next 2, pull through the last 2. Okay, and then we're going to chain 5, and we're going to single crochet again at the top of this triple crochet cluster. Pull up a loop, then chain 5, so you have 7. We're going to go back down to the singles. You have 7 single crochets, so the one in the middle is number 4,